Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are unpacking something truly massive. We've put together a meticulously researched strategic briefing on India's transition to electric shipping. And specifically, we're diving into the highly lucrative opportunities this transition presents for early partners, manufacturers, and investors who are ready to collaborate and excel in this space. If you want to understand the future of global maritime logistics and exactly where the smart capital is heading right now, you are in the perfect place. Let's get into it.
Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to hit the electric shipping race, the inland waterway advantage, breaking down the economics, overcoming strategic bottlenecks, and finally, the 2030 master plan.
Section 1. The electric shipping race. To really grasp the scale of the untapped market in India, we first have to look at the explosive growth happening right next door.
950%. Let that number sink in for a second. Between 2022 and 2025, China experienced a staggering 950% growth in electric cargo vessels. This isn't just theoretical anymore, right? This proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that battery-powered maritime technology is absolutely ready for massive commercial scale.
But here is exactly where the opportunity lies for us. While China currently dominates the landscape with over 440 electric ships already deployed, India's fleet is sitting at less than 50 vessels, mostly in early-stage pilots. However, India is standing at a critical juncture. There's immense momentum building from domestic shipbuilders like Navalt and Cochin Shipyard. They've already safely transported millions of passengers on electric ferries. So what we have here is a massive, glaring gap in the commercial cargo market just waiting to be filled.
And India doesn't just have to play catch-up, it can actually leapfrog regional competitors entirely. How? Well, it's a perfect storm. India can leverage its massive network of 111 national waterways. Add to that a strict 2025 government mandate stating that all new centrally funded inland vessels must be electric, plus access to top-tier Western and Japanese drive-time tech. The stage is completely set for hyper-accelerated growth.
Section 2. The Inland Waterway Advantage. So, if you're an investor or an operator looking at this, where is the most economically viable starting point for this transition?
Inland waterways are the absolute perfect catalyst for electrification. Why? Because they offer predictable, fixed routes, which is exactly what battery technology needs to thrive right now. Plus, the regulatory environment is finally clear thanks to the Unified 2021 Inland Vessels Act, which wiped out all that old state-level fragmentation. And if that wasn't enough of a sweetener, the new Jalvahawk scheme provides a massive operational subsidy of up to 35%. Factor in the sheer volume of bulk cargo. We're talking mountains of coal and fertilizers moving across these rivers, and the business case becomes undeniably strong.
Our rigorous research isolates one specific route as the absolute prime target right out of the gate: National Waterway-5. This is a 320-kilometer stretch moving contracted coal from the Talcher coalfields directly to Paradip Port. This specific corridor is the immediate lowest-hanging fruit for deploying a dedicated fleet of 2,000-ton electric barges.
Section 3. Breaking down the economics. Strategy is nothing without the numbers to back it up, right? So let's break down the hard financial reality of swapping out those diesel engines for batteries.
The crucial takeaway is this. Electric propulsion reduces diesel operating costs by an undeniable 40 to 60% on these fixed inland routes. When you're moving heavy bulk cargo day in and day out, literally slicing your fuel bill in half fundamentally changes your profit margins. It's a game changer.
Now you're probably wondering about the initial cost. And yes, to be fair, the upfront capital expenditure premium is about 40 to 50% higher for an electric vessel. But the data proves the payback period is incredibly fast. For a medium 2,000-ton cargo vessel, the payback on that initial premium is just 5 to 7 years. That's entirely due to sheer operational efficiency. After year 7, you're looking at pure profit advantage compared to a diesel counterpart.
Let's see how this compounds in a direct comparison. Let's take a 2,000-ton barge on that NW5 route we just talked about. The electric model costs 12 crore rupees up front compared to 10 crore for diesel. But wait, look at the annual operating expenses. The electric barge achieves a massive 75 to 85% OPEX reduction. Your 3.5 crore annual fuel bill drops to, actually, scratch that, it plummets to just 25 to 30 lakh for electricity. And that 40 lakh engine maintenance bill, it virtually drops to zero.
When you model this out for a real commercial business, the results are staggering. Over a 28-year lifespan, just a 6-vessel fleet utilizing a shared, swappable battery system generates an incredible net present value savings of 158 crore rupees. To put that into perspective,
That is a massive chunk of capital directly retained by the operators and investors.
Section 4, Overcoming Strategic Bottlenecks. Look, objective analysis requires total transparency. We can't just talk about the upside. We have to frankly address the technological and regulatory barriers currently standing in the way and exactly how we plan to systematically dismantle them.
The challenges are very real, no doubt about it. Currently, India has a heavy import reliance of over 75% for lithium cells and battery management systems. The technology also faces a 500-kilometer operational range constraint due to the sheer weight of the batteries. We have a severe lack of charging and swapping networks, frustrating regulatory certification delays, and something we can't ignore, we must mitigate the ecological stress that waterway dredging causes to endangered river dolphins.
But here's the good news. Every single one of these bottlenecks is solvable. And here is the exact blueprint to do it. First, stakeholders need to mobilize around battery-as-a-service leasing models. This allows operators to lease batteries rather than buy them, instantly slashing that upfront CapEx hurdle by 50%. Second, we have to scale domestic cell manufacturing using government production-linked incentives. Third, establish a single-window approval process to cut right through the red tape. And finally, enforce strict ecological design standards and seasonal dredging restrictions to completely de-risk these investments environmentally.
For instance, solving that charging infrastructure gap isn't a mystery, it just requires execution. The strategy involves deploying specific solar-plus grid hybrid charging terminals right along the NW5 route. By utilizing solar to offset peak daytime grid demand and setting up stations capable of 30-minute containerized battery swaps, a vessel literally never has to sit and wait to charge. It just swaps a containerized battery and keeps on moving. Highly efficient.
Section 5, the 2030 Master Plan. With the economics fully proven and the risks actively mitigated, let's look at the grand vision. Here is the actionable, meticulously planned 2030 roadmap to achieve market dominance.
This strategic phase deployment shows exactly when and where investors, manufacturers, and operators can plug into the ecosystem to scale up. Phase 1, from 2025 to 2027, focuses on proving the model at scale with 50 to 75 vessels on our prime NW5 route. Phase 2 scales that success across other major waterways, growing the fleet to up to 300 vessels by 2030. And Phase 3, heading into 2035, is about total market dominance, with over 500 cargo vessels and the introduction of advanced sea-to-river intramodal routes.
To execute this 5-year roadmap, a blended finance mobilization of exactly 5,430 crore rupees is required by 2030. Now, this isn't just a government burden. It requires concerted collaboration from central and state governments, private sector innovators, and international climate finance. Everyone has a role to play here.
And the return on that collaborative investment? It's transformative. By 2030, this initiative yields a massive modal shift in how freight moves in India. We are looking at 200 to 250 active vessels, generating up to 1,500 crore rupees in annual operational savings for the freight industry. Environmentally, it eliminates 8 to 10 million tons of CO2 every single year, radically improving air quality in major river cities and firmly positioning India as a leading Asian maritime manufacturer.
The opportunity is highly researched, the data is absolutely undeniable, and the entire pathway has been thoroughly de-risked. We are well past the theoretical stage here. Now it is time for the private sector, visionary investors, and international partners to mobilize, collaborate, and scale this incredibly lucrative ecosystem. The roadmap is set. The only question left is, will you be part of building India's electric maritime future? Thanks for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this sparks some serious curiosity, and I'll catch you on the next one.